walking around in circles, carrying your burdens. Don't know what to do, 'cause it's too much for you. Reaching out for something, coming back with nothing. Don't know what to do. Is anything left for you? I'm begging you please to hang on, hang on. I'm begging you please to hang on, hang on. Hold your head up high, hold your head up high. Hope is just around the corner. Hold your head up high. See it in your eyes. You were born to fly. Hope is just around the corner. Hold your head up high. Hold your head up high. Memories can hurt you, how the words can burn you, making you feel alone, turning your heart to stone. Life can be a nightmare, leave you feeling so scared. What are you gonna do? Where are you running to? I'm begging you please to hang on, hang on. I'm begging you please to hang on, hang on. Hold your head up high, hold your head up high. Hope is just around the corner. Hold your head up high. See it in your eyes. You were born to fly. Hope is just around the corner. Hold your head up high. 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 Hope is just around the corner. Hold your head up high. See it in your eyes. You were born to fly. Hope is just around the corner. Hold your head up high. Hold your head up high. Hold your head up high. Hope is just around the corner. Hold your head up high. See it in your eyes. You were born to fly. Hope is just around the corner. Hold your head up high.
I never spend my time living others' lives while sick of holding someone else's pieces on the board. You can never win, try not to begin. As I said, please don't come find me. Why don't you people try spending some of your time thinking of something else besides tearing others down? You can never win, get under my skin, can't say you didn't wound me once, and I thank you all for that. You can try to hurt me, but you don't hurt anymore. And I need you all for that. But you can take your opinion and suffer fools of your own. I But you can take your opinion and suffer fools of your own. And I thank you all for that. You can try to hurt me, but you don't hurt anymore. And I need you all for that. But you can take your opinion and suffer fools of your own. And I thank you all for
Yo, what's up? I'm Adam.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Patrick.
Patrick.
Patrick didn't care.
I'm
Patrick
here.
didn't care.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
I'm like, hello. Oh my gosh. Oh, how is everyone doing? Patrick, how you doing? It's another Saturday.
Living the dream. Living the dream.
Living the dream. I love it. I love it.
Living the dream.
Oh, we made it.
Yeah.
So hope everyone in the chat is doing great. Appreciate y'all being here. What's going on? What are you doing this weekend, Patrick?
Nothing.
Well, you said you were going to record some videos.
I am recording some videos, but
Yeah.
I mean that's fun though. That's a fun thing.
I
Recording
am
videos is a fun thing.
excited. In a few hours, I'm going to see Dune Part 2. Opening
Oh.
weekend for Dune.
Oh,
So excited. So excited. Oh, look at that. James Bartlett has been here for a long time, 36 months.
Congratulations.
Finally got his MVP award. Congrats. Congrats. Yeah, Johnny, it's already March. It's already March. We're getting there. We're getting there.
congratulations.
Dune. So Donald, no, it's not an IMAX. So one of the taxes of living in the middle of nowhere, the town I'm in, like they actually do have a movie theater. It's not a great movie theater, so I'm not going there. So we're going to a Cinemark that's it's about 45 minutes away. So I tried looking for an IMAX, and it was even further out. So I was like, all right, never mind. So yeah. So yes, the sleeper is awakened. So if you are new to the live stream or Guy in a Cube in general, put hashtag new in the chat. We always love seeing the new faces. Just want to welcome you here. Thank you for being here. So yeah, let's see here. Also shout out to the members of Guy in a Cube. You help us do what we do here, so appreciate that. If you see folks with a green name or an icon next to their name, the Guy in a Cube icon next to their name, those are members of Guy in a Cube, so shout out to all of you. We love having you here and love the support. If you want to learn more about being a member, check out the link on the screen or hit the join button down below to learn more. No commitment required. Just thank you for checking it out. Also, members, hold your questions until the halfway mark. Chatmaster C will let you know when it's clear for you to ask your questions. So, all right. Let's see who is new. So Nicholas is new. Welcome. Rajesh Shri is new. I hope I said that right. And that's 1, 2 so far. So, all right. Well, welcome. Glad you're here. Also, just a reminder, I did drop the links in the chat a little bit ago. So if you're going to be, I don't know which one this is going to show. Yeah. So Fabric Community Conference is happening at the end of March. Still time to register. Still time to, decide that you want to come out and see us and hang out with other folks in the community and learn all sorts of cool things. We will be there. So if you do register, be sure to use Cube 100 and get $100 off registration. And then we also have, we'll be at SQL Bits as well. So that's coming as well. We've got a discount for you there as well. You can get 10% off SQL Bits. So would love to see you there. Dan is new also. Thanks for being here, Dan. It's great to have you. Yeah, none. I've seen the reviews for it. I'm super stoked for it. It's gonna be great. And Dan's from the UK. Welcome. Are you going to be at Dan? Are you going to go to SQL Bits? Will we see you there? I don't know. Farhan is new as well. Welcome. All right. Rules. We have rules on Guy in a Cube. First rule, please put Q colon in front of the question to get it in the queue. Chatmaster C is standing by to get them in the queue. One time is all you need. One time it will get in the queue. Whether we get to it or not is another question. Usually there's a lot of questions and we don't get to all of them. So sorry if we don't. Come back next time and we'll try again. If you do have a burning question and you want to get it answered, you can submit a super chat and type in the question. Super chats always jump priority and will be answered next. So just be aware of that throughout the whole stream, even when we go into member only section. So we have a 3 strikes rule here on Guy in a Cube. If you spam your question after 3 times, we will put you in a timeout. That's just how we roll. So either Chatmaster C or one of our moderators will do that, except for Patrick. He doesn't do that. So
no way.
So yeah. So just please don't spam in general, and please don't spam your question. We will get to as many as we can. And there's already a good set of questions in the queue. So we will go through them. So all right, Patrick, you ready?
Yep.
All right. Let's go to the queue. Shout out Mapes. Yeah. Yes, Matthew. All right. Data is king. When creating a Python visual in Power BI, I understand how to show the column names in my data set, but I don't know how to point to a measure. Is this possible? All right. Yes, it is. So instead of doing all the talky thing, although I will talk, let's head over to my machine and actually see how this works. So all I did in the visual is I just added a measure to the values list, right? So total sales amount is a measure in my data model. And then from the code perspective, it's just there and I just referenced it. And you can see up here that it actually visualized the values and whatnot. So you can use a measure, you can use a field. It works. It should work. So I'm assuming that you did something and it errored or it wasn't working correctly. So if that's the case, I would need more info. But in general, yes, you can use measures or fields or whatever you want on that end. So yeah. Cool. And then Patrick was like, I did a video on that. I have it. And I'm like, no, I'm going to figure this out. I got it. So, all right. Any thoughts on that, Patrick? Although, so we were going through it though, and like you have to install some of the modules.
Just shut it up.
And Patrick's like,
shut it up.
I didn't talk about that in the video.
Stop it.
I'm like, I wonder why.
Stop it.
Yeah. Poor Patrick. All right. Oh, that reminds me. Sorry, Patrick. I'm gonna do this also. So sorry, I'm gonna deviate from the questions for a second. So we did 2 videos this last week of a no code and a code approach, and Patrick said, "I wonder who's gonna win this challenge." And so Guillermo, I think, just kind of called it out, and he said, "Look, I really love the zip coding, but it seems like Patrick lost the challenge." So, just saying. Patrick's video was good though. I liked Patrick's video. It was good.
Just because more people watched your video.
Well, what's your measure of winning the
mean-
challenge? What's your measure? How are you measuring that?
Let me think about it.
How do you define success, Patrick?
Yeah, so we need to. That's right, Paul. It's not about quality. It's not about quantity. It's about quality.
So you're saying my no code video wasn't quality? I also remember Patrick calling me up and being like, "Oh man, like I saw," because mine was actually recorded after his, and he's like, "Wow, you just kind of tied it up in a nice little bow at the end. I didn't do that." And I'm like, "Eh." So.
I think neither one. Look, Shane said, I think neither one. I need to rename the extracted file. Oh, Oh, we could have done that. I didn't know you needed to rename them. We could have done that. We
You don't
could have
need to
done that.
rename. Why do you need to rename?
But if you want to,
I mean, you
rename
can,
them,
but
right.
like, I don't know why you have to. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right,
Okay.
all right,
I
Greg,
lost.
Greg,
Big L.
Greg.
Big L.
Yeah, that's all right. I think, Patrick, we both won.
Yeah. all
You
right.
get a
I'll
participation trophy.
Participation.
Anyway, all right.
Okay.
Any idea when we might see Microsoft revise table and matrix visual formatting? Similarly, conditional formatting in a cluster bar chart. We're still having to use workarounds in code. So Miguel Myers, who's the PM for the visuals, like he's been on several stuff on YouTube, talking about kind of the vision for the visuals. I do know like tables and matrix are in his line of sight. It's just that it's going to take a little bit of time. So, like I know there's work coming, but yeah, it's we got to wait and see on the time. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. And then if you do have feedback on those, be sure to go to ideas.fabric.microsoft.com and go get that feedback in. Why does ideas not work? That drives me nuts. All right. Anyway. Okay. You were smiling, Patrick. What were you smiling on?
Oh, people are supporting me. Vote for Patrick.
Vote for
Jason said vote for Patrick.
Aw. I love the support, Jason. I love the support. It's nice. Kind of goes along with the I watch Patrick thing, right?
Yeah.
We need a shirt like instead of the vote for Pedro, it says vote for Patrick.
I just I need to I need to go and look. I didn't even pay attention to the views on that video. I just assumed there
didn't
wouldn't
either.
be many.
Yeah. I assumed the
not
same.
many people are gonna.
Yeah. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, both of them were low. Anyway.
It was an effort of love. It was an effort of love, man.
It was.
It was an effort of love.
Was.
Yeah, it was an effort of love.
So, all right, Guillermo. One Lake Explorer is amazing, but still have challenges. I know is in preview.
Preview.
Yeah, it's preview. Yeah. But any near news on this? I mean, there's the team is continuing to update as they have updates. I mean, there was an update not too long ago about like the Excel file stuff. So,
but what's the challenge?
Yeah,
it would
what
be
is
good
the
to know what the
challenge?
challenge
What do you want to
is,
see?
Guillermo.
What do you want to see?
Yeah.
What does it not do that you need it to do? I'd also love to understand like the scenario on like how are you leveraging it, right? So
Yeah.
that would be interesting. I mean, I use it from a demo perspective just because it's kind of easy. Like in the zip video that we did, like I was using that to go back and forth. But I would love to understand just like in production scenarios, like how are you leveraging that, or is it just for development? Or it's interesting. 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 So, thanks, Matthew. Thanks, Matthew.
Woo, put that on the screen. Put that on the screen. Come on, man. Put that up there. Put that up there. Thank you, Matthew. Come on, man. Bam.
Yeah, but Matthew, I'd love to know like your definition of that. Like, what is?
Woo. Woo.
I don't understand where that's coming from.
We could stop the stream right now, my friend. We could stop the stream
All
right
right.
now. I'm done.
See you, everyone.
Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matthew.
Hey, how about this? Guy in a cube is the winner.
I like Patrick better. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Anyway, all right.
I'm just kidding. All right.
Yeah, hashtag winning. Hashtag winning.
Yeah.
Patrick
yeah.
drank his
All
tiger
day.
blood.
My tiger blood.
All right. Jake, are there any good deployment scripts for Power BI projects in the wild other than Rui's script? I am only aware of Rui's. I'm sure there are others.
Yeah.
So, like, what are you looking to do though? So, like, when we think deployment, like, I'm assuming, like, are you leveraging Git integration with DevOps or like?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
a good one. He's got a good link. He sent it to me on my other machine, and he'll find it. Where So he's got one that will actually use like Tableau Editor best practice rules, where like when you run
It'll
your
run
pipeline,
it'll run the BPA.
yeah,
rules
it'll
on
run
it.
and it'll stop it from getting pushed to production or whatever you do with Git. It'll
That's in
stop it from-
that's on the deployment pipeline side though, right?
That is on the
Yeah.
it's on the pipelines and DevOps, not deployment. It's
Ah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah,
pipelines
yeah,
and
yeah,
DevOps.
it's on the DevOps side.
Yeah.
Because we had that discussion before. I'm like, whoa, pipeline. That's on the DevOps side. That's not on the.
Yeah, that's what it's
Fabric
absolutely on the
Power BI
DevOps side.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So, interesting. So Jake is saying Azure DevOps not using Git integration. I'm curious though. If you're using DevOps, why aren't you using Git integration? Like I would think that would make it a little easier. Interesting. So, it's curious.
Oh man. Okay,
What?
so hang on. I'm sorry, we got to go back to the video challenge this week. WWEGHORST. This is how you measure success, Adam.
What? What are you talking about?
Time. You don't see it?
I'm looking.
I
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. That's how you measure
This is
success.
That's also Patrick was saying too. He's like, man, you had a whole lot of clicks. When you said it in the video too, he's like, look, I didn't have many clicks at all there. So, that's fair. I'll take that. That's fair. Time is money. I love it. I'll go with that.
Time is money.
Congrats, Patrick.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fun. This is fun.
Yeah.
This is making my day.
Those are rules that stop Power BI and DevOps talking. Interesting. All right, Jake. Yeah, that's interesting. All right. Yeah. Check out Rui's stuff and see if you can alter it, or see if you can adapt it to what you're doing. If you've got some infrastructure things that are blocking you, you have to figure out how to work around that. All right. Adolfo. Hope I said that right. What to do about semantic models configured with publishers' OAuth 2 credential when they leave the organization? There are dozens of OData sources configured like this. You got to update them.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
This
is the problem with
don't
using something like that. So, yeah.
Don't do. Look, dude. I was a DBA for years, and SQL Server account, right? SQL Server needs a service account. The agent needed a service account, and I remember when I first started working at this company, it was a person's identity running the service account, and I'm like, are you kidding me? What happens if this person gets fired? It's the same stuff. We're talking about the same things, right? Create an account that's not associated with an individual. See, to do this, come on. I'm just getting on my soapbox here.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate, Patrick.
Okay, Adam.
I don't like if we're just looking at schedule refresh, like the UI stuff. Like I could have a named user that I use as a service account, but I can't supply a service principal name in that dialog, and I can't use managed service identities today through that dialog.
Can you write code to do this?
There are some ways to potentially do it, sure, but it's challenging. It's challenging. So,
Is it?
but I know there's stuff on the
either-
roadmap coming that will help in that
Right.
scenario. So
it's either go through the challenges and not face those problems.
Yeah.
Right? Or deal with that problem and not go through the challenges. So you got to balance. You got to figure out, which fits you. Time is money. Remember, I didn't say that. Time is money.
But yeah, so that's the problem though. If you have all those OData things with specific user
Yeah.
credentials, you got to update that. Now, the other thing
Yeah,
to
you
think
gotta
about
update
though
it.
is you could potentially shortcut that a little bit by leveraging if you're going through a gateway, that's a centralized, or you could use a shared cloud connection, right? So where it's a centralized credential, so you don't have to update every data source. You just update the one and everything picks it up. So that's another option as well. So, but if they did it all individually, man, I don't have a good answer for you. You gotta.
I'm just thinking about this. Okay, this is gonna be on my mind.
All right. Is that because you got money on your mind? However that goes.
Service accounts in Fabric.
I'm on the next question, by the way. Alan's got a question. Now with Fabric, as opposed to just Power BI, I need a large multi-year date table for multiple things. I'm going to pause there and go, what do you mean by large? What does large mean? So
Years and 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 years.
sure,
and years
but
and years.
like how big is that table though? Like
It's still not very big.
well, so because I know in our thing that we did, going to year 9,999, that was like 2.3 million cardinality. So I'm like, that's not big. That's not big.
Oh,
1 billion years, Johnny.
1 billion. 1 billion.
Yeah, but Toma, even that's not a lot. Like from a cardinality perspective, and you're not going back to 1776.
Shane answered the question. But he said what I was going to say. Shane said what I was going to say.
Well, wait a second. All right, let me read the rest of the question. Do I put it in a warehouse or something else? Any new thoughts on date tables with Fabric overall? So I'm going to put this in a Fabric perspective, not Dataflow's Gen 1. Because in Dataflow's Gen 1, sure, you've got a Dataflow there with your date table and you can reuse it. But in this case, if you use Dataflow's Gen 2, then you got to put it somewhere, right? So you're going to put it in a lakehouse or warehouse. Where are you going to put it? That can then be referenced by the data model.
I'm going to put it in a place that I can create shortcuts. So I probably would put it in my warehouse because I can't create shortcuts yet in my warehouse. But I can create shortcuts from my warehouse to a lakehouse to a KQL database. I can even go get it from Power BI, right? I can connect to that and get it from Power BI. So if you plan on using the warehouse at all in your Fabric deployment, right, put it there. Put it in your warehouse because you'll have to query it. And then if you're querying it using the endpoint or creating a view to it, it's going to fall back. So it won't use direct lake. So you got to think about, there's some layers there to think about it. I got you.
Yeah.
Put it in the source.
Yeah.
Put it in the source. Right. Put it in the source. And
So
then
Alan came back and said 40 years. So I'm like, still, that's not a lot of data. But I get, like, you want to reuse it, right? So you don't want to redo it over and over and over again. So, yeah. So, yep. All right, cool. Moving on. Hope I said this right.
Yeah.
Wara chart. Hope I said that right. Why I cannot add a new calculated column in my semantic model? It's always grayed out.
Not supported.
Well, specifically for direct lake.
For direct lake.
But it wasn't mentioned here, direct lake. We're
Lake.
going to assume that you're using direct lake, and that's not supported.
No. Yeah, but you can. Hang on. Oh, man. Where did you create that data model that we could open that wasn't in the direct lake mode? It was an import one. Which workspace did you create it in?
Remember? Was it AdventureWorks?
Dang it, you. Okay, I got it. I think I got one.
Probably AdventureWorks.
All right, so go to my laptop.
We're going.
So if you're not in direct lake mode, look, new column in the web modeling. You can create if it's in direct lake mode, it's disabled.
Right.
So if you're using an import model, right, you can click new column and you can create a new column, right?
Yep.
Because that's going to process it whenever you refresh. It's going to process that and pull it into memory, right? Remember with direct lake, when you reframe it, when you refresh that, nothing's going into memory.
Yeah.
And so how do we solve the challenge of the calculated column? Not saying it's not something that's ever going to happen. It's just not supported today.
Yeah, and it was on the lake house, so yeah, it was direct lake. So Yep. So yeah, so if you want a new column, you got to do it further upstream. So what is going on? All right, go away. So did that. Farhan, what is going on? All right. Hi. I'm a big fan of both of you. Thank you. What could be the best way to learn Fabric? Right here on Guy in a Cube.
Well, yes.
I am new to Azure and Fabric. I have experience in SQL Server and Power BI. Please advise. So, I would say like go to the Learn content first. Like there's a lot of good Learn content out there. So I'd start there. Obviously, we've got stuff here on Guy in a Cube. And there's a lot of great community contributions like blogs and videos from other YouTube channels. So there's a lot of info out there, but the Learn content, I think, will get you started first. And then also, like, whether or not you're going to try and go for the certification, check out the Career Hub as well, because that can guide you through some of the Learn stuff and get you going on that front. So that's where I would go. Anything else you would add, Patrick?
Oh, I love it. I was going to say
it.
Learn.
I love it.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff. Kenneth, with the new Tyndall update, so this is referring to, we can now, when you save a Power BI project file, there's a preview option to output it in Tyndall as opposed to Timsl. Realizing that this is in public preview, what are the issues with converting BIM to the new Tyndall file in terms of deployment?
What would be the issues?
I'm not aware of any right now. I'm sure
I'm not
there might be some.
I'm not aware of any issue.
Yeah, I haven't heard of anything. Have you tried it? Did it work?
I haven't tried it, but
Yeah,
I will
Kevin's
I
saying
will
too.
be
He
trying
hasn't
it.
seen any yet. So like, yeah, I mean, it should work. So yeah, give it a whirl. As with all things, I would say test before you do it in production. But and especially it's a public preview thing, so validate it. Try it. See. But yeah, like I also I enabled it and saved it to Tyndall and published, and it worked. So I didn't see any problems with it. So. All right. This is a Patrick question from BP.
it's not.
What is Dataverse? Please explain in simple layman language. Yeah, Patrick, what's Dataverse?
It's a place that allows people to manage their data. Manage their data.
What does that mean?
Duh. So like, I can go and scan my entire Power BI tenant. You can run a scan using Dataverse,
What are
and then
you
I can see
talking
all
about?
my. Oh, I'm thinking about Purview.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh my gosh.
I'm thinking about Purview. Oh Jesus, I'm way off.
I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. And Scott's in the chat too. He's probably sitting. He's like, Patrick, what are you doing?
Purview. I was reading about Purview this morning. Let me show you. Literally.
Oh my gosh.
Look.
Oh, whoops.
I was reading this this morning. I was.
Oh my gosh.
Please don't ask why. Why.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Yeah, sorry.
So Dataverse.
Purview on the mind.
I don't like Ryan's definition. So I'm going to throw Ryan's definition up there, but yeah, Kevin, answer the question you wish
Scott.
they asked, not what they actually asked. So Ryan's comment said Dataverse is Microsoft's modern database in the cloud. I don't like that. Based on Dynamics platform for data storage and management. So yeah, so it's the way I say it is like, look, it's a way to go look at data from the Dynamics side of it, as well as like Power Apps and those items. So you can leverage that. It's you can use a SQL endpoint on it, but it's just a way that data is exposed. So, and then we do have, it was announced that it's coming, but I haven't seen it, but we can do a shortcut to Dataverse on that. But think of it more like it's on the Dynamics side and like Power Apps, those types of things, and then you can leverage that data from other systems. Poor Patrick. Yeah, right. I just don't like the term that it's the Microsoft's modern database in the cloud. I don't like that definition at all. So I just don't. So
Okay.
yeah. And then Darren, what is Microsoft Purview?
Okay.
Please explain.
On to the next thing.
But Scott Sewell's in the chat. Also, he's our Dataverse guy. He's on the Fabric Cat team, so he eats, sleeps, and breathes Dataverse. He loves it so much. He tells me all the time. He's like, "This is amazing. So.
You got to see this demo that he's working on. He's writing some DAX. I helped him get started, but then he had to phone a friend, being in Mr. Phil C. Mark, to wrap it up. But
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the demo. I'm gonna ping him next week to see what he put together. Yeah.
All right, Kenneth, what is workspace identity? It just showed up in my premium capacity. So the idea here is that typically if you've got like a firewall or like something going on with your Azure Data Lake storage, so you've blocked it from just public access, workspace identity means that the workspace will actually show up as like a service principal on the Azure side, and you can provide like that workspace directly access into your Azure Data Lake storage account. So you're not giving it access to all of Fabric, but you're giving it to a specific workspace.
Can you show them where it is?
We're over.
I was going to ask you to show.
Whatever.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So when you're in your workspace, if you go here and choose workspace settings, you'll see it right there. Like, I'm not set up, but you can see there's workspace identity, right?
Yes, you got to configure it.
And then if you click this.
Yeah. So this exposes a service principal on the Azure side within your tenant so that you can provide access to the data in ADLS Gen 2 from your given workspace. So this has been a major blocker for folks on the Fabric side in terms of providing access. From a security perspective, like they want to have a more controlled access to it instead of just letting all of Fabric in and then also just dealing with firewalls and private endpoints, things of that nature. So this is a way that you can do it from a Microsoft infrastructure perspective. So, all right. Wow, we're at the halfway mark, man. Chatmaster C said she's clearing the queue. So we're
because I wasted a whole bunch of time talking about Purview instead of Dataverse. I mean,
and why you won the zip thing also.
So sorry.
All right. So we are going to go into member only chat. So we're at the halfway mark. So this is where members and moderators will be able to participate in the chat. Everyone else can still watch and learn and participate in just watching. So members and members get your questions in. Chatmaster C is queuing those up, and then.
Thanks,
my gosh.
Thanks, Dina. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Anyway. Yeah. So just a reminder there were still a lot of questions in the queue that we didn't get to. Apologies for not getting to it. Come back next time. And or if you have a burning question, please, you can use a super chat to jump the queue. Even if you're not a member, we'll still ask it in that case. So, all right. Cutting over to member only.
That was funny. That was freaking funny.
All right. Oh my goodness. And if you want to learn more about becoming a member, again, check out I dropped a link in the chat. You can also hit the join button down below to learn more. But that is where we're at. And we do not have any pre-submitted questions this week. That is one of the benefits of being a member at the visitor and producer tier. You can pre-submit the question. We do not have any this week though. So, okay. Just going back to the Dataverse thing real quick. Thank you, Matthew. He put he said Dataverse is a cloud database service that's deeply integrated with Power Apps and Dynamics and has a bunch of nice low-code stuff included. I like that. I don't like the whole modern database thing, though. So.
That is bothering you.
All right. Oh no, Johnny. All right. Shane, what would be the best way to add reports from other workspaces into a current app? I was thinking just add a link and then part 2. But then to keep it safe, should it be a new tab, or current area? And is there any special permissions? If it's in a different workspace, so you can't reference it from a content perspective the way you would reports in the existing workspace, so you'd have to do like a link to the reports. It's just a URL from that perspective. Now, there are challenges with that, going that approach from an access perspective, because if you update access from a workspace or app perspective, that doesn't translate to that report that was shared in the link. So now you have a 2-step process to provide access. So be aware of that. You could run into problems where people just can't get to the report. In terms of how you want to do it in a new tab or current tab, that's up to you. Current tab, I want to say there is a query string parameter. I think it's undocumented, but I know it exists where you can remove kind of the the frame, like the top bar and the sidebar, where it can just be clean. So there is a query string. I'd have to go look it up. I don't remember what it is, but it's the Chrome of what it's called. So basically, you can turn the Chrome off from a query string perspective, and then you could do it in current area. But if you don't do that, then new tab is probably better. But just the access thing gives me more pause on that than anything else. So, all right. Anything you want to add to that, Patrick? I know you're deep in.
No, I don't.
You're clacking away. Yeah, Toma's saying save as to that workspace, duplicate the report. It could be a thim report, but I mean, there's other challenges there too in terms of updating the report. And then if you have a copy of it, now you got to update it in 2 places. So there's general challenges there. So Microsoft Access is now included in Power BI, Scott. All right. Access is coming back, man. It's making a comeback.
Interesting.
All right, Julio. Fabric OneLake implementing daily incremental refresh over Parquet files will generate a lot of small files. Yes, it will. Is it needed to find a vacuum or optimized process each week daily is effective? Go for it, Patrick.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. You want to clean that up?
Yeah. It's not it depends. It's absolutely. And if you go into the workspace, you can. I guess we could show it. I guess we should just show this, Adam. Let me find a workspace here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you go here?
Yeah.
So if you go to a lake house, let me find a lake house really quick. So if you go to a lake house, like I have this lake house right here, and if you're doing a lot of changes and it's generating all those files, if you go to the maintenance, if you're in the lake house and you go to maintenance right there, it's going to open up some stuff and you can run, optimize, apply V-order, a vacuum. But there's also scripts, and I promise I am working on a video for this. I am. And so once I get the video done, I'll publish out a sample script that I'm working on to do the optimize and V-order. Yeah, absolutely.
And Johnny said he thought it was optimized now. But is that, I think that's just like the thing you were showing where you can configure it to just run. So you don't have to like do it in your actual notebooks or scripts or anything. So, yeah.
I don't know if it's automated. I honestly don't. If it is, that's just something I miss. That's something I miss, and I'll do some research on that.
Yeah. So the other thing I'm going to show too, and I'll drop a link into the chat. So the reason why you want to do this, at least from it's going to affect performance if you don't overall. But
yeah, that's true.
I'm dropping a link in the chat, but I'll show my screen. So at least from the direct lake perspective, the thing to be aware of, there are limits based on the SKU. And there's a file limit as well. So I remember talking with I think it was Brad Chat on the Fabric Cat team, and because we were going off on like the row groups and like rows per table and millions, like, maybe hitting those limits. And he was like, nope, I'm more worried about the files, especially if you're doing like incremental refresh or something like that, where you need to clean that up. So be aware of that. It's a good question. Good question. Thank you, Julio.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Johnny, it just reads like some of these things just read funny to me. So he's like, oh man, the SEO on Fabric Vacuum isn't so great. Got like a Dyson or a Hoover article or something like that.
Yeah.
The vacuum.
The vacuum.
It's funny. All right, James. Mr. New MVP, my admin API scripts, PBI monitor, etc. So those are things from Rui. All stopped working suddenly on February 8th. Not authorized error. I didn't change anything, and my app registration secrets aren't expired. What gives? I have no idea. I haven't heard anything. Not authorized. Like, do you have access to? Like if you're hitting workspaces or like outside of that, can you just wire up a new one and see like if that worked or, I mean, I'd have to go through and debug that. I don't know. So typically in those scenarios, what I do is if we got this big script and everything's going and something's failing, is I try and bring it down to its most simplest component, right? So let me just try something. It's almost like the hello world, right? So I'm just hitting that one API using a credential. Does that work? If that fails, then, okay, something's going on there. If it doesn't fail, okay, something else in my script is causing a problem. And then going back and, revisiting access and all of those things that might result in a not authorized. And so if none of that's working for you and you're still stuck, I would have to say open a support case. I'd have to look at it more to know like what's hitting and try and reproduce and things like that. But yeah, David, like tenant settings, did any of that changed? Like there's a lot of things. So I'm going to say, and oh wow, I don't recall us having an it depends before, but I would say this is definitely an it depends.
Oh, wow. This is the first one.
I know.
This is the first one.
I know. Yeah, David's got a good option too. Use the try it command on the API and the learn page. Like that's a quick way to just test. Like you get a not authorized there as well. If you do, something's not configured right from a tenant perspective or access perspective. So you got to validate all that. So excellent. Hopefully you get it fixed, James. Oh yeah, can't do that with a service principal, but you can wire it up in PowerShell and just try it like on its own, a standalone API call, and just see if it works. All right, Leslie, what good use cases have you seen for GitHub Copilot and Power BI project files? I haven't seen anything. So I think part of the challenge here and why I haven't seen anything is because on the Fabric side, we don't have GitHub integration. It's specifically to Azure DevOps. So I don't know, like, yeah, my vision on that has been kind of focused on Azure DevOps and not GitHub on that front. So I haven't seen anything specifically, but I'd be curious also, like, when we think about GitHub Copilot, because the Power BI project files, they're going to be generated from Power BI Desktop. And so what would you want to do from a Copilot perspective on GitHub? That's what I would be interested in, is like, what do you like, do you have a use case that you're thinking that might be beneficial there? Like, are you trying to automate certain things from like a report or a semantic model perspective outside of Power BI Desktop? And that gets interesting, and I think there's some possibilities there, but I'd love to know more. But I haven't seen anything, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for Patrick and say that he hasn't seen anything.
No.
So, all right. Let's see here. Wait. David said, we were using it in GitHub years ago. Using what? Copilot? Copilot's new. It wasn't around years ago. But using Visual Studio data tools, not Power BI Desktop. We're ADO now and Tabular Editor. And ADO in this case is Azure DevOps, not the old ADO for data source stuff. Yeah. Well, and so. Yeah, David. Yeah, GitHub is a wrapper around Git itself. So the and that works well for semantic model stuff. But what about reports? And so Leslie said, thinking about automating some code review elements. Okay. Generating automated testing, formatting, and commenting. Okay, I like that. Those are what we're playing with, looking at. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see. Like, what I'm really looking forward to is when GitHub is actually integrated from the Git integration piece and not just Azure DevOps. So, but I have no idea when that's coming. I hope it is. All right, and Kyra coming in with a super chat. Jump in the queue. All right, Kyra, what do you got? Favorite resource to recommend for SQL? I'm good with M and want to expand, learn more about databases in general.
Man, learning SQL is...
Come on, Mr. DBA in your Twitter handle.
There's
a lot of resources out there.
I don't know which ones to say if I'm going to go learn SQL. Are we talking about T-SQL or are we talking about SQL Server? My assumption is we're talking about T-SQL, the language, right? I have some videos where I started down the path of showing you some basic SQL select, joins, stuff like that. I think Adam even made a playlist out there. Yeah, somebody just said this. Paul said this, right? Itzhak Ben Ghan. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Yep.
If you ever see anything out there, but man, I haven't searched for like intro SQL, T-SQL. I think there's something in Learn.
Yeah, there will be. I'm also looking. So one person I follow from a SQL perspective that's got a lot of good content, but I don't see anything like necessarily like how to learn T-SQL as Brent Ozar as well. But like he's got a lot of stuff if you want to get into like query tuning and like index tuning, that kind of stuff. Like performance tuning, like he's got a lot of great content, but just getting the fundamentals of T-SQL. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Check out Learn. Check out, honestly, for T-SQL intro stuff too. One place I would go is just because it's used so just all over the place. Is go to Khan's Academy too and see what's there. Like they would probably have some good stuff. So, David. Yeah, this is more on performance tuning and that kind of stuff, not necessarily. Yeah, Kyra. I will tell you. So if you think like the Power BI and Fabric community is strong, the SQL community is also very, very strong. And so there's a lot of folks out there in the SQL community that have a lot of good stuff. But yeah, I would start with Learn content. Check out some of the main bloggers. So like Brent Ozar, Itzhak, who else would be out there? There's so many. I'm blanking on other names. Redgate is a good resource. So there's lots of stuff there. Also, check out. Check out the. If you want just general courses that relate to SQL too. So PASS Data Analytics Conference is PASS Summit. They have a lot of, they post some of their recordings of sessions up on their YouTube channel, so you can go look at that too. There's a lot of good stuff there. And then like Bob Ward is also another great resource on SQL side, but not for like getting started. Hang on, Matthew just posted something. Let me go to the site. Yeah, all right, here it is. So Matthew's link, this is what I think Patrick was talking about. So this is, no, I don't want that, so annoying. But yeah, the T-SQL querying developer reference, this book is good. Yeah, Adam Mechanic's on there. Kevin Farley's on the product team. And then Dejan as well as, they're all great folks on that front. So yeah, check out that book. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you, Matthew. All right.
It's interesting.
Yeah, and he's throwing out some other links there too. So lots of good stuff. Yeah, SQL Saturday in Atlanta. I don't know where you're at, Kyra, but check out local. There's a lot of local user groups and SQL Saturdays as well, or Data Saturdays, and there's usually a lot of good stuff there too for learning on that front. And typically those events also include like Power BI Fabric stuff as well. Because Power BI actually came from, like the birth of Power BI came from a lot of the folks in the SQL data community. So yep. Nobody uses SQL anymore, Paul. That's not true. That's not true. So Kyra, I don't know where in Texas you are. So the North Texas SQL Server user group that's in the DFW area. That is a very strong user group. And then I know Houston has its own user group as well. Austin and San Antonio do as well. So, lots of great groups out there. All right. Going back to the queue. Thomas. Will DAX date add work during leap years?
So, it appears to work. That's what I've been so
You were tinkering.
No. It appears to work. Let me show you. So I'm running into one thing.
And I'll comment on something if Patrick doesn't touch on it.
Yeah.
So
Right. And so I was trying to get a larger date. So I just typed this in. So you can see, right, we had a leap year. It went from, I just wrote day to add to add another day. For some reason, I'm not getting the last day in my table here. So I gotta figure that part out. But it looks like, yeah, it picks it up. It recognizes that February 29th is the last day, and it goes to, March 1st. So, yeah.
Now, there's something you got to be careful with, though, when you're doing time intelligence and involves a leap year, right? Because if you're just saying like, hey, like month over month or like this period last month, like those days may get tripped up depending on where you are in the month. So you got to be aware of that when you're doing those kind of things. So that's where the leap year may actually cause you some problems. But also, like, it also depends on the, how many days are in the month, right? You gotta deal with that. It depends. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. So you gotta be careful with time intelligence when you're dealing with that stuff. So be thoughtful and validate it. But at least for the use case that Patrick showed, it does work. Yes. Yeah, Johnny, 53 week ISO. Yeah. Yes. I learned about 53 when I was working with a large retailer, and I learned about 53. What the heck is that? And then I was like, oh my gosh. So, yes.
Yeah.
53 weeks is the
Looks
thing.
like it works. Looks like it works, though.
Yep. All right. Hector, a client developed a report with 100 plus DAX measures with many dependencies when it can be simplified to only 20 measures and no dependencies. Any DAX best practices advice to code measures? Whew, that's a big loaded question there. I mean,
I don't know.
I mean,
It depends.
Yeah, it depends. I usually come at it from more of a performance perspective. I mean, yes, there are some things like, look, you're building all these measures and they're dependent on each other. And can you simplify that? Sure. Could you use things like calculation groups to reduce the number of measures? Sure. But I also go back to performance, right? Like, is it causing problems? I know there's like a readability perspective and like, how do you discover which one's the right one? So those are all things to consider. So I would say in that scenario, can you refactor it to just the 20 measures? I don't know.
Well, that's it. If you know Hector, if you know the 20 measures that already work, the challenge now, it's not about. I don't think the challenge for Hector is consolidating it down to the 20 measures. There's probably a ton of reports out there that's using those 100 plus DAX measures.
Yeah.
How do I fix it? How do I fix it? So,
Yeah. Well, or how do you educate folks so that they don't do that in the first place? And that's a training exercise, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, Johnny. Event houses, what's it all about? Can't talk about it right now.
Can't talk about
it yet. Can't talk about it yet. Sorry. I know. It popped up and then it went away, didn't it? Like it popped up and then went away.
I look.
So
It's
can't talk
gone.
about it. Can't talk about it. All right, Donald. I love that Johnny's persistent in asking though.
Yeah, I like it.
He's trying to trip us up. Ain't gonna work. Our data warehouse team wants to use Databricks Unity Catalog. Yeah. Should I like this if I want to use Microsoft Fabric? So, Unity Catalog is nice. Like it does some cool things. I'm interested to see like what we get on the Fabric perspective in relation to that. So I think OneLake in itself like starts helping towards that direction. I don't know that there's nothing in Fabric today that's a direct replacement of Unity Catalog, but it is, it's a hot topic, right? So I'd have to say stay tuned on that front. But I mean, if you are leveraging Databricks, that's definitely a resource you should take advantage of. Obviously, Paul, you're right. Yeah, with Fabric, you can leverage it. But I'm interested to see what happens inside of Fabric to, so you just have that type of capability within. So ideas.fabric.microsoft.com.
Oh, wait. Somebody said there's a blog
What?
about it.
What? Hang on. If there's a blog, then we can say. I didn't know that there was a blog on it though yet. What is that?
You see it?
No, I'm just trying to. They changed the. What happened? I don't have a good way to get to the Fabric blog quickly, which is painful for me.
Oh, back, yeah, Svea on February the 28th. I got it.
You got it?
There you go, right there.
All right.
Event house overview. Look, February 28th.
Real-time data. There you go. Wait, is it in? Hang on.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Let me go. Hang on. Go. Where am I going? Let's go zip. Real time. Oh, no, it's there. Yeah. So it's in here. Let me go to my, like, it's in the product. It's there. So what were you told, Patrick? 'Cause you told me. I was like,
it says it. It says it right in the first line. A dynamic workspace hosting multiple KQL databases.
Yeah,
it says it.
So what we were told was it's a collection of KQL databases.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's a collection of KQL databases.
It makes sense, right? Because KQL is real-time streaming events. In the house,
sense?
we have lots of them. We have lots of them in the house.
Why can't I? Yeah.
We don't call it guy in the cubes because we know it's understood that there's multiple guys in a single cube.
Oh my gosh!
Right? Or guys in a cube or whatever you want to call it.
So I guess from my perspective, though, when I start thinking about something like Management Studio, or even in well, I don't want to say that either. But if you think of something like Management Studio, where you can add multiple databases, I'm like, why can't I just do that in like the Explorer and just add different items that I've created? Like, why do I have to create this event house?
There it goes. It's in our.
But Patrick, the thing that I'm missing in that story, and I got to play with it more, is like, why do I have to create an event house? Like, what's the value of creating that versus individual KQL databases? Like, that's what I'm missing.
Read.
That's what I'm missing.
I gotta go read.
That's what I'm missing.
I gotta go read.
So,
I gotta read stuff.
KQL, Johnny. Oh my god, that's funny. But that's what I'm struggling with. It's like, why can't I just in the interface, like if I've got a KQL database of like, just add another one and just add another one in like an Explorer thing, and then I can reference them. Like, I don't. That's the thing. I'm sure there's value there, and I'm sure there's a reason for it. I just don't understand.
Because you have unified monitoring and management across all the databases in a single place.
Okay.
I
don't get it. I don't get it. It's just me. It's probably a me thing that I don't get it. So, yes.
Okay, I'm opening this up. I'm gonna go read about it.
All right. Jarrell, moving on. Suggestions on best laptop for Power BI desktop in 2024. A fast one?
32. Wow, no. Memory. You got
memory.
Make sure you have
at least 32. I did a video on this. The video I had still holds true. Like, it's still a good video.
Jarrell,
it's still.
Make sure you. Yeah. It's all about memory. I'm telling you. I was
no, Johnny. Johnny, no.
What did Johnny say? What did he say?
A Surface. No.
Yeah, Surface works great.
No,
Surface works great.
No.
I use that in my day-to-day. I agree, Johnny. The Microsoft Surface laptop. The Surface laptop has 32 gigs of RAM. It works great. He said, now that he is trolling. Look, he says that he's trolling.
I will tell you personally, and I've been doing this for, a long time. My laptops have no less than 64 gig of RAM in them. And then my desktop machines also have no less than 64 gig of RAM. So yeah, I like, make sure it's at least 32 gig of RAM. Yeah, I like the 8-core processor at least. Get a modern processor, and you'll be fine. And solid state drive. Get a solid state drive. Don't use spinning.
Yeah.
drives for that stuff. Use solid state. All right, Toma. Is it good to see Spark nodes fire up quick under trial? Should we expect performance degradation once we start playing? Ooh, well, that's a question about the starter pool versus custom pools. And so the reason you see the session start up so quickly is because of the starter pool. And the starter pool is a set like resource, right? So like that may not be good for you going to production, and you may have to do a custom pool that has just more resources available to it. So it depends. It depends.
Yeah, it depends. I don't know enough about the Spark nodes. I'm learning, but I just don't know.
So but if you think about it,
I don't think it.
So the pools define like how many nodes are available in that pool, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're doing a big operation, it's got to scale out. Like if you have a smaller configuration, it's going to take longer, right? So it's about performance. So.
But I mean, I won't see. I mean, I could if my code is bad, just like anything else. It's gonna slow down if you have some poor Python that you're sending to your cluster. I don't care how big or small it is; it's gonna be slow. And so,
but even if it's big, if you've got like billions of rows going into trillions and it's spread across a couple tables, and you got to do a lot of shuffling and all this other stuff, if you're doing that on the starter pool, that's gonna be a bad day. So.
Oh, I think he's talking about. Tom was talking about turning on really fast. Is it going to slow down if I have a bigger node? If I have a bigger cluster? I don't know.
Well, it will.
Okay.
The reason the sessions start so quickly on the starter pool is because we've already got defined nodes that are already up and running and ready to go.
Yeah.
So if you do a custom pool, then that's not necessarily true, and so you may have to wait for that to actually spin up. That's the benefit of the starter pool. Is that it's already spun up. It's already spun up and ready to go for you. But custom pools may not. So yes, it could take.
But if I create the custom pool, once the custom pool is created, okay, and then I go back and I connect my notebook to that custom pool, it's still going to take a bit to start it up.
If the session wasn't already started, yeah. Like if the nodes aren't physically fired up, then
yeah.
Like you gotta wait.
Okay, I'm gonna try it out.
Yeah.
We should honestly have. Anyway, we'll talk about this offline. Yeah. I have a thought.
Okay. So we are over time.
Oh, jeez.
I know.
Oh, jeez.
So sad. So sad. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Sorry. I didn't know. I wouldn't have went on that ramble. So sorry.
It's all right. It was valuable. So, there were a lot of questions in the queue still too.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Come back. Come back next time.
So sorry.
We'll do it again. Patrick, closing words of wisdom.
Yes. Yes. And so I said this a while ago, right? There's some changes happening in my life, and a lot of times we always say, "Oh, I wish I had a bigger house. I wish I had a bigger car. I wish I had more clothes. I wish I had a better job." Right? Whatever it is, right? I want more Jordans. I want
thinking
all
about
the
a specific song in my head.
I want all the Jordans I could have.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a ball.
I wish I was a ball. I wish I had a girl. But anyway, before you complain.
See, Crystal was right there with me. She said, I wish I was a ball. Yep.
Before you complain about the stuff you don't have, stop. Just stop for 1 second, because I'm learning this. Really appreciate the stuff that you do have, like the friends you have, right? The stuff you have, the computer you have, the car you drive, right? Appreciate that stuff first, because there's always more to come. Yeah. Anyway,
I love that, Patrick. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. So thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you on the interwebs over the next week, and see you next Saturday.
Yeah.
See you next Saturday. All right. See you, everyone.